Today is the 17th of December of the year of 2022. My name is Ronnie Carter, but you may call me Slight Rider. Some of you may know me. Some of you may know, more of you may know of me. And most of you are just getting to know me. Today I want to talk about anonymity and just how we need to be more willing to see things for what they actually are instead of lying to ourselves and trying to build off of that delusion. And to this degree, I want to talk about how we collectively are being hypocritical about our desire to amplify voices we agree with. I'm going to reference the whole Twitter files thing. I don't really care too much about First Amendment right or whatever. It is just a collective thing that needs to be pushed to the surface. Our willingness to amplify things that make us blind to our own pain and others' pain, and our willingness to try and shut down things because we may find them uncomfortable or we may fear that they are going to hamper us in some way. The person that's going to express this is Stef from Uberboyo, someone I strongly admire, and he's going to be using Jordan B. Peterson as an example. Sorry if I'm not looking straight at the camera. I'm saying
Jordan Peterson is.
Ooh, there we go. This is a doing it by the seat of my pants kind of thing. Mars and Gemini squad. And the topic of Jordan B. Peterson, he's someone I admire, but I can get into that as we watch this.
Jordan Peterson has begun to lose me as of late. I've always admired the man for being the voice of reason in a world of nonsense, but recently he's.
Yeah, I like his religious lectures more than his political movement. Although there is wisdom to be gleaned from a lot of his talk on politics, as much as a friend of mine that I don't really get to talk to face, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't know of me as of yet. Name's Leo Gura. Find him on actualize.org. Um, yeah, he does speak a lot of sense, given that we're slowly purging um, that from our systems.
Started to go in this tirade against anonymous accounts. He's suggesting that social media companies should regulate anonymous accounts and push them into this junkyard so that they're out of the public discord. I don't like this at all, and I find it very insincere.
Yeah, I do too. Given the Twitter leaks, it's exactly like what they've been doing. And I honestly believe that despite the bullying and complaints about bullying, we do need to be more open to allowing free discourse online. Most of these problems that we try to pin on people being able to freely express their opinions online has more to do with how we are behaving offline than our attempts of trying to express that anger online, an online virtual environment where we feel that we can be safe from the consequences, karma, consequences of putting that stuff out there. And I honestly believe that the only way to resolve something like that would be to learn how to engage with our emotions instead of using them as justification for actions. Like, let's, just as an experiment, treat our emotions like a radar system instead of a title card cues or prompts. Just as an experiment.
There's this famous quote where they say, give a man a mask and he will tell you the truth. And the reason why that is because when you speak the truth to power, it's very, very dangerous. There's an awful lot of people who are threats to the system because they own an awful lot of Bitcoin, a lot of Bitcoin billionaires, who've all of a sudden started to die in their early 30s in the last couple of weeks. Why is that happening? Or look at how badly Edward Snowden and Julian Assange's lives were destroyed as a consequence of them specifically calling out truth to power.
Say what you will about the people being referenced, the main point is not about their character or how they live their lives on the day-to-day basis or the details of what they did, but more of people don't like hearing difficult truths about their actions, be it individually or collectively. And we need to be open to sharing our points of views without pointing the finger or blaming the person we're criticizing for our own difficulties, because that's what's causing a lot of this chaos and excusing a lot of the killing, a lot of the excesses, a lot of the abuse, a lot of the sexual immorality. And I can go into definitions in a different video or podcast. I like to talk, I like to socialize. That I will pull shout out to Abba and Preach and How Dare You podcast a guy who stole from me and then went out of his way to try and slander a guy I listen to online as a cult figure when he's done everything in his power not to. But we could talk about that later, Abba and Preach. And hopefully I can find the video. Because I have some views on a lot of the things that you're talking about, and I'd like to offer my opinion. But aside from that, people need to be able to express how they feel and what they want. And it sucks that a lot of this is hampered by our ability to earn money, which is what Stef is going to get into after this.
Now, Jordan Peterson is a good guy, and he gives self-help advice and ways to straighten your life that's very important for people to take seriously. But he's not really talking about the specifics of the power structure. And so he's a little bit safer than these people. And it's very nasty for him to try to take that away from people who want to do something noble in the world.
So yeah, I kind of already went into um the whole fact that money, and well, it's not even money. Money's not really all that important. People think it's important, and I can go into a huge rant as to why it's not really all that important as everyone likes to see it as. It's just a symbol for the labor and the services that you can provide for a necessary problem you need solved. It's what humanity's been using to barter in exchange of having to specifically go out, find a person who's capable of solving a particular problem, and then being able to give that person the solution to their problem that will allow them to go out and solve your problem. Money is pretty much the exchange unit that we use for that. And it sucks that because we're so centered on this symbol, that it allows for a lot of evil to be expressed. It goes back to the biblical quote that the love of money is the root of all evil. The love of money, the narrow-minded pursuit of it for its own sake, instead of seeing it as a tool with which you can affect the world, and seeing it as the tool and not the reward, is what's causing a lot of the problems that we're seeing here. Because without our self-centered approach towards money, we wouldn't have guys like the SPF guy. We wouldn't have politicians like Trump and Biden. And we wouldn't be stuck in situations where we keep progressively seeing ourselves as weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker, and then acting on that self image of being weak to try to strip and tear the people around us down in some desperate struggle to be able to express ourselves authentically, with the condition that we only do it once we've accumulated enough power in the form of this money. It's a Pluto and Scorpio 8th house thing. Seriously.